Hi, happy Thursday. This is attempt number 2 at a video because I just made myself cry. Did you ever do that? When you're talking honestly about yourself and then you start feeling really sorry for yourself and the tears come and I don't know what the fuck happened, but I was like, this ain't going in. It's not the vibe I wanted it to go. I wanted to talk honestly about how I've been feeling, but I didn't realise that I'd been sad until just then when I started talking, so it's really important for me to do these videos and to just get my subconscious off my chest or whatever. Because I always feel better when I've done them, and it's because I don't socialise anymore. I don't bloody talk to anybody. Everything in 3D is very base level, and I try not to rock the boat anymore. I'm like, I don't. I just try and experience it all from within instead of trying to alter everything around me, So it's quite isolating and lonely. I've got to learn how to integrate and get myself out in more social situations. Basically, that was what made me cry. But I can say it now and it's fine. So I've got some certain little things that I'm planning to do. Very very small baby steps in sort of integrating for the rest of my life. But I find myself beating myself up about stagnation or lack of progress, and it's funny because it doesn't happen overnight, does it? It's like manifesting dreams. They need your cooperation and your action as well. It's not just laying in bed and meditating. It's not just that. There's a bit of humanness that is needed to connect all this as well. So, oh God, I've literally not spoken to anyone for ages. I chat to the school mums and dads and stuff like that, but it's such fucking bollocks. Sorry, but it's just so boring. I'm like, And I sound horrible when I say things like that. And it's not that I come out with any incredibleness in my chats at the school doors either, but it requires me to be of a falseness to be received in a uncomplicated way, let's say. So there's like, for example, there's this boy's dad in my little boys' school. This is boring, but bless him, he's got half a metal leg. I think he was in the army, something happened, bless him. But he spends his time now taking his pets around to schools. He's got like snakes and lizards and rabbits and guinea pigs and shit. So the rabbit's been at school for a couple of weeks so the kids can play with it and stuff, and it's nice. But this guy's face, like, and he tells you the same shit all the time, and it's like he wants a round of applause, that type of person. And me and the kid's dad, we laugh about it. It's like, was he there again, He stands at the school gates holding the rabbit, just wanting some gratitude for his, service to humanity, and it gets a bit tedious after a while. But anyway, that's the pinnacle of it. The rest of it is very sort of surface level bullshit between all the other mums, and it's shit. But that's my socialising for the day, and quite often that's enough for me. But it's not now. I acknowledge that I require more connection, and I've always been fine on my own. I've always enjoyed my own company. Even when I used to be a big fucking pisshead and I used to go out drinking and clubbing all the time or whatever, I'd always wander off on my own and make some new friends or sit chatting to random strangers for the rest of the night, But very bored of monotony, the same thing. But completely alright on my own and in my own company was always good enough. But it's like I'm at that point now where it's like I have, believe it or not, I have fucking great chats with my kids, and they're only 4 and 2, but they're just incredible little souls and they teach me so much. So I'm not bored at all. It's just I would really love to be able to face with somebody, just have a bit of a connection. even if it was just, you know, fucking FaceTime chat or something, it's difficult, it's lonely. And like I said, my only friend down the road, I don't think I've seen her since Christmas, and she literally lives 2 roads away. And I'm not particularly desiring to either, as you know, as lonely as I am. So, it's this isolation, this loneliness, this hermitness. Also, I'm sick of the internet. I've really had to take myself off it and listen to myself and think, no, stop this. You know, whether I think it's educational, informative, or, you know, helps my spiritual growth or whatever, there's definitely a limit to how much time you should spend watching YouTube. And, you know, just be aware to keep your pure, unique essence and to not be homogenized or pulled into, you know, anything that doesn't sort of feel right within you. And, you know, it's amazing at the same time because communities are being built and people are resonating and, you know, they're finding like minds and kindred spirits, and it's so incredible. And I feel like I'm, you know, a part of that. I've really connected, if only, you know, just watching people's videos, to some like-minded souls, and so that's great. It makes you feel less lonely. But like I said, the reality is I'm a mum at home on my own, you know, just doing mundane shit, and I have a black box on my car because I had so many points on my driving licence that the cheapest, it's ridiculous, I pay 125 quid a month for my car insurance, which is genuinely more than my car is worth, especially because the neighbour reversed into the side of my car the other week actually now, and scraped it a bit, and I couldn't even be bothered to do anything about it because the car is so shit anyway. It's just a little, you know, just a little car. But maybe I should do something about it. I don't know. But anyway, so my car insurance is 125 quid a month and the car's not worth it. And it's on this black box, so I have 4,000 miles, an annual limit, you know, 4,000 miles for the year. And I've had my policy since August, so I've got another 4 months, I guess, until it's out, and I've got like 500 miles left. And I've really been careful with it. I've not been going anywhere too far and shit like that. But it's like a prison tag. It's like being persecuted for these points which were unfairly put there in the first place. But anyway, I definitely had a part to play in it, so hands up. But anyway, systems, you know, things like that. So I feel like sometimes I can't just do what I want, you know, I can't just drive to the seaside because then I'd have to pay an extra £250 for an extra 2,000 miles on my fucking car insurance and this, that and the other. And, oh, you know, I've spoken about this before, this fucking ridiculous car insurance shenanigan. But anyway, so I've got a very basic life at the minute, and I'm in this house and in this district and not far about, you know, and I'm focusing on home and healing myself, and my connection with my kids gets better and stronger by the day, and it's amazing. And this process is part of the process, the isolation, but, you know, I'm ready to break free of the chains really, and, you know, start fucking living a little. So, yes, I don't even know. I'm trying to make the final steps, you know, in creating this new life for myself. And I heard some guy, his channel's called Trinity, and he's a really good talker in my opinion, and he's maybe I'll put the link down below anyway, but he was trying to talk about his sort of issues and I was really relating to him. He was talking about how you can become an outsider because of your views and your perceptions, and people that once loved you or once liked you don't really want to be in your company anymore because you are unpredictable, or you rock the boat with your new perceptions, or, you know, and how that can impact relationships, which happens to everyone during spiritual journeys, doesn't it? But it's that, yeah. So it's, and he was talking about how hard it is to speak openly and honestly about everything you want on a channel on YouTube, because you know that there's also people waiting to trip you up, or cast you in a different light, which is ultimately their issues, but you're putting yourself up there to be ridiculed or mocked or piss taken, you know, for being honest about your opinions, or, you know, your soul's thoughts and what is going on inside and outside of your mind. And it's just, it's a really funny sort of stage with this suppression of speech and suppression of just your freedom of observations, like I've said before, your freedom of everything. There's a war on it, and it's all to do with the mind and stuff, but it's a funny time. I've seen a couple of things this last couple of days about Alex Jones now, and when I watched the Joe Rogan comeback, I had a feeling that this was going to happen. You know, that the word psychosis was mentioned a few times during his interview, and it seemed to be, you know, the way they were going to go with the whole 4.5 hour show, you know. Almost like, here he comes, tail between his legs, this is what happened to him, and it was psychosis, and therefore, you know, blanketing many others with the same label. And so there's lots of stuff about this online at the minute, and I'd see it, and I saw it happening and felt it happening. But obviously mainstream media's picked up on it now, and so it's a narrative that wants to be spun by people. You know, the mainstream news is saying that Alex Jones was going through psychosis when he was, you know, thinking about all this stuff. And part of me thinks, you know, that there's truth in that needs acknowledging, that during these spiritual awakenings, or, you know, when you're deep into conspiracies, or if you're deep into religion or gang stalking or fucking Illuminati shit, you know, the dark stuff, whatever it is that you're deep into, it does have real impact on your mental capacity. And I've said hands up completely honestly before that I think that I've had a period of what would be termed psychosis, nothing outwardly shocking, but internally I was in a very delicate situation. You know, during the height of my dark night of the souls, and without really relating to or researching anything on YouTube, and just being like, what the fuck, you know. I said before, I felt like the world was going to end on Easter and things like this, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But I don't know if Alex Jones could have had 15 years of psychosis, who knows, but it definitely needs speaking about. But now mainstream's took the narrative and pushed it for an obvious agenda to blanket anybody's freedom of speech a little further. So it's interesting. I think this is why I kind of try and keep talking and trying to keep my integrity and my honesty, is because I'm not scared of what anyone can say about me. You know, I know, my kids know, and, you know, the very few people around me know. They know me, they know my state of mind, they know how I am, and they know what is important to me. But it's funny that, just, you know, from an outsider's perspective, the things that cross my mind, you know, they are labelled as crazy. So anyway, this guy, this Trinity, I think he's called Dave, he was talking about addressing the pain and wanting to address the pain within him to try and help people through this. He said he wanted to be a soul gardener, and it's kind of like that's what I want to do. And I've mentioned this before on my channel a few times over the year or whatever, but this ultimate dream of having this healing hut called Roots, somewhere by the sea, and just having a place where you can heal through talking, singing, dancing, frequencies, tones, music, painting, any of the arts, you know. And one day, if psychedelics are legal in this country, a section in for psychedelic ceremonies, or, you know, one-to-one healing sessions with trip sitters or empathic people that can help you access your past traumas. And you know, the dream goes on and on and on, and it gets grander and grander in my head sometimes, but I realise things like this are doable. And, you know, it's what I want to do, as grandiose as it may seem. It's something that's really close to my heart, and so I'll make my way there one day. But yeah, soul gardening, and I think that's what so many of us want to do, you know, is to just help the human race, help each other's spirits, sort of drop the bullshit and ascend to a better place, because the pain and the suffering is it is all encompassing sometimes, and it's unnecessary and illusionary, and we do it to ourselves with the help from others, but we can get rid of that with nothing but ourselves and our own sort of truth within and time alone and stuff. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, I want to try and keep relaxed, stay off too much YouTubey crap and, you know, getting involved in too much stuff. I'm being sort of reminded to stretch. Like I said, this stretching and the yoga really helped. And breathing, you know, just being all right in the vessel at the time. I noticed that I've noticed this my whole life, but even when I'm on my own, I've joked about it before, you know, it's like I've still got my coat and my shoes on quite often when I'm on my own, and I'm still sort of walking around, not sitting down, never lolling, you know, laying back and like relaxing. I'm not a lounger, like, and I've got to just, you know, look after myself a little bit more, be easy on myself, and you know, blah blah. This is going to be boring. This is just my little therapy session to myself right here, you know, speaking it out. And I really do think that everybody should make their own little vlogs, and, you know, really start wearing their own truth with pride, the truth and pain with pride, you know. I've just been self-loathing my whole life, and not just of myself, but of pretty much lots around me. Everything was not right, and sometimes it still feels like that, but, you know, I can change that, like we all can. So anyway, blah blah blah. Pretty tired now as well. Hope you have a good day, and I'm sorry if that was boring, but needed to come out. Bye.